If you're over 60 and love coffee, you might be wiping out years of health you didn't even know you had. Today, I'm exposing the 4 coffee habits that silently sabotage your heart, bones, and brain, and the 4 blends that can actually add life to your years. Do you know which cup is a hidden poison and which one is a daily prescription? Stay with me for the next 15 minutes and you'll walk away with a science-backed coffee plan that keeps you sharp, strong, and thriving. And if you're ready to protect your golden years, hit subscribe now. The secret's about to unfold. I'm Dr. Anna Martinez, a geriatric nutritionist with 20 years of research on micronutrients and age-related inflammation. Many seniors think any coffee is the same, but the reality is that the beans, roast, and additives can either accelerate or decelerate the aging process. In this video, you'll learn first the 4 coffees you must ban right now, second, the 4 golden blends you should sip daily, and third, simple science-based ways to integrate them into your routine. Let's start by uncovering the hidden villains in your morning cup. If you've ever felt jittery or noticed your blood pressure spike after coffee, type jittery in the comments. I'll be reading them. The first villain is the sugary frappuccino that looks like a dessert but masquerades as coffee. Those hidden 30 grams of added sugar cause a rapid glucose spike, feeding chronic inflammation and accelerating arterial stiffening, 2 of the biggest enemies for anyone over 60. Your pancreas already works harder with age. An extra sugar surge can push it into insulin resistance, a direct pathway to type 2 diabetes. The rule: never buy a pre-sweetened coffee unless you're willing to replace that cup with a sugary soda later. If you've been caught in the one-time treat trap, smash that like button. It tells the algorithm you care about real health. Second, the espresso drowned in heavy cream and flavored syrups. Think cafe mocha on steroids. Heavy cream is saturated, fat-rich. Each tablespoon spikes low-density lipoprotein cholesterol and fuels atherosclerotic plaque. Combined with caffeine, it raises blood pressure by up to 8 millimeters of mercury within minutes. Older arteries are already less elastic, so that extra pressure can tip the balance toward hypertension and increase the risk of stroke. The practical instruction is simple: never add more than a splash of low-fat milk or a plant-based alternative, and skip the flavored syrups altogether. Third, the instant coffee packets that come with artificial sweeteners and preservatives. Many of these sweeteners, such as aspartame, can disrupt gut microbiota, leading to increased intestinal permeability, the so-called leaky gut that fuels systemic inflammation. In seniors, a compromised gut barrier has been linked to accelerated cognitive decline. Moreover, the preservatives often contain high levels of sodium, which can exacerbate fluid retention and elevate blood pressure. The takeaway: never rely on prepackaged instant coffee for your daily dose. Choose freshly brewed beans whenever possible. Fourth, the cold brew concentrate mixed with high-calorie dairy-based flavor boosters. While cold brew itself is low in acidity, the added boosters are often loaded with added sugars and saturated fats, creating a perfect storm for metabolic stress. For someone over 60, that extra caloric load can contribute to sarcopenic obesity, the loss of muscle mass combined with excess fat, which dramatically raises the risk of falls and fractures. The instruction here is clear: never consume cold brew with commercial flavor boosters. Instead, add a pinch of cinnamon or a few drops of vanilla extract to keep the flavor without the hidden calories. Now that we've identified the 4 worst coffee choices, let's shift the focus to the 4 golden blends that can become your daily prescription for longevity. First, the single origin Arabica brewed at a medium roast. Arabica beans contain higher concentrations of chlorogenic acids, powerful antioxidants that neutralize free radicals and reduce oxidative stress in the brain. Studies show that regular consumption of chlorogenic-rich coffee is associated with a lower incidence of mild cognitive impairment in older adults. The practical tip: brew a cup of medium roasted Arabica using a pour-over method and enjoy it black or with a splash of oat milk to preserve the antioxidant benefits. Second, the decaffeinated espresso made from beans that have undergone the Swiss water process. Decaf removes most of the caffeine while retaining the beneficial polyphenols. For seniors who are sensitive to caffeine-induced heart palpitations, decaf offers the same neuroprotective compounds without the spike in heart rate. The instructions swap your regular espresso for a decaf version in the afternoon, especially if you notice any irregular heartbeat after caffeine. Third, the turmeric-infused latte made with brewed coffee, turmeric, black pepper, and a dash of ginger. Turmeric's active compound, curcumin, works synergistically with coffee's antioxidants to combat chronic inflammation, a key driver of arthritis and cardiovascular disease in older adults. Black pepper enhances curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%, while ginger adds a gentle warming effect that supports digestion. The practical step: blend a half cup of brewed coffee with a quarter teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and a small slice of fresh ginger, then heat gently and enjoy. Fourth, the mushroom coffee blend that combines lion's mane and cordyceps extracts with organic coffee grounds. Lion's mane has been shown to stimulate nerve growth factors, supporting brain plasticity and memory retention, while cordyceps can improve oxygen utilization, boosting energy without the jittery side effects of caffeine. The instruction: replace one of your weekly coffee drinks with a mushroom coffee prepared according to the package directions, and notice the sustained mental clarity throughout the day. If this is opening your eyes to how nuanced coffee can be, hit subscribe and let's keep exploring together. What's your current coffee habit? Leave your answer in the comments. I'm eager to hear how you're drinking and what changes you might try. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate coffee entirely, but to transform it into a tool for healthy aging. In the next segment, we'll dive deeper into how to personalize these blends for your specific health goals, and we'll address common misconceptions about caffeine and bone health. Stay tuned, because the next tip could change the way you think about your morning ritual forever. But let's pause for a moment and ask ourselves a simple question. What does your body truly need from that steaming mug you hold each morning? The answer is not a one-size-fits-all prescription, but a thoughtful combination of nutrients, timing, and preparation that aligns with the unique changes that come with age. In the next few minutes, we will dive deeper into how you can tailor each of the 4 golden blends to your personal health goals, and we will debunk a few myths that many seniors cling to about caffeine, calcium, and bone strength. First, let us revisit the 4 hero coffees we introduced earlier. The first champion was the classic black brew, rich in chlorogenic acids that act like tiny guardians against oxidative stress. If you find the bitterness of a straight black cup too harsh, consider a gentle addition of a pinch of sea salt. That tiny mineral not only balances flavor, but also supports electrolyte balance, which can be especially valuable for older adults who may experience subtle shifts in fluid regulation. The practical step is simple: brew a single cup of freshly ground beans, add a pinch of sea salt, stir and sip slowly while you read the morning newspaper. This modest tweak preserves the antioxidant power while making the experience more palatable. The second champion was the decaffeinated espresso, a smooth alternative for those who notice a jitter or a racing heart after a late afternoon cup. Decaf does not mean a loss of the beneficial polyphenols. Modern Swiss water processing retains most of the bioactive compounds while removing the stimulant. If you are prone to nocturnal awakenings, schedule your decaf espresso for the early afternoon, ideally before the early evening, and notice how your sleep quality may improve within a week or two. The instruction here is clear: replace any regular espresso afternoon with a decaf version, and keep a notebook handy to track any changes in your sleep patterns. The third champion, the turmeric-infused latte, brings together the anti-inflammatory might of curcumin with the gentle caffeine lift of coffee. The magic lies in the partnership with a dash of black pepper, which unlocks curcumin's absorption dramatically, and a slice of fresh ginger, which adds a soothing warmth that aids digestion. For seniors dealing with joint stiffness or occasional morning aches, this latte can be a soothing ritual. Prepare it by heating a half cup of brewed coffee, whisking in a quarter teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of freshly ground black pepper, and a thin slice of ginger. Warm but not boiling to preserve the delicate compounds, then drink slowly while you stretch. The practical instruction: enjoy this latte 3 times per week, preferably on days when you feel extra sore, and observe whether your morning stiffness eases over the following days. The fourth champion was the mushroom coffee blend, a fascinating fusion of lion's mane and cordyceps with organic coffee grounds. Lion's mane has been studied for its ability to stimulate nerve growth factors, supporting the brain's plasticity, while cordyceps enhances oxygen utilization, giving you a steady energy without the crash. If you find yourself reaching for a sugary snack in the mid-afternoon, swap that snack for a cup of mushroom coffee. Follow the package directions for the optimal water to coffee ratio and drink it after lunch. The instruction: make this substitution at least twice a week and note any improvement in focus or reduced cravings for sweet foods. Now that we have reinforced the 4 must-have blends, let us turn to personalization. Not every senior will benefit from the same frequency or dosage, and the key is to listen to your body's signals. If you have a history of high blood pressure, you may want to limit the number of caffeinated cups to no more than 2 per day and favor the decaf espresso in the afternoon. If you are managing borderline blood sugar, the black brew with a pinch of sea salt can be a better option than any sweetened latte because it avoids the glucose spikes that come from added sugars. For those with chronic joint discomfort, the turmeric latte can be your go-to, perhaps even daily, as long as you keep the total caffeine intake within a comfortable range. And if you are battling low energy or mild cognitive fog, the mushroom coffee can become your ally, particularly on days when you need extra mental stamina. A frequent misconception that circulates among older adults is that caffeine somehow leaches calcium from the bones, accelerating osteoporosis. The science tells a more nuanced story. Moderate caffeine intake, defined as up to 3 cups of coffee per day, does not cause significant calcium loss, especially when paired with adequate dietary calcium. However, consuming large amounts of coffee on an empty stomach can increase urinary calcium excretion temporarily. The practical solution is to pair your coffee with a calcium-rich snack, such as a small slice of cheese, a handful of almonds, or a fortified plant-based yogurt. By doing so, you create a balanced nutrient exchange that supports bone health rather than undermines it. Another myth is that all coffee is acidic and therefore harmful to the digestive tract, especially for seniors prone to heartburn. While it is true that coffee contains natural acids, the degree of acidity varies widely depending on the bean origin, roast level, and brewing method. Darker roasts tend to have lower acid content, and cold brew methods extract fewer acidic compounds than hot drip brewing. If you experience occasional reflux, consider switching to a dark roast cold brew and sip it slowly rather than gulping. Adding a splash of almond milk can further neutralize acidity while also providing a dose of healthy fats that aid in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. The instruction: experiment with a cold brew dark roast for a week and note any changes in heartburn frequency. Hydration is another pillar that often slips through the cracks when coffee dominates the morning routine. Caffeine has a mild diuretic effect, meaning it can increase urine output slightly, but this effect is not strong enough to cause dehydration in people who consume coffee regularly. Nevertheless, it is wise to balance each cup of coffee with an equal amount of water. A simple habit is to keep a glass of water right beside your mug and finish the glass before you take your first sip. This not only helps with hydration, but also supports kidney function, which can become less efficient with age. The practical step: for every cup of coffee you drink, make it a rule to drink at least 1 glass of water, preferably plain or infused with a slice of cucumber for a refreshing twist. Now let's address the timing of coffee consumption, a factor that can influence sleep quality, hormone regulation, and even appetite. Caffeine's half-life, the time it takes for the body to eliminate half of the stimulant, averages around 6 hours, but it can be longer in older adults due to slower metabolism. To avoid nighttime awakenings, aim to have your last caffeinated beverage no later than early afternoon, ideally before the early evening. If you crave a warm drink later in the day, opt for a caffeine-free herbal infusion such as chamomile or rooibos, which can be soothing without interfering with sleep. The instructions set a personal cut-off time for caffeine and replace any post-cut-off coffee with a calming herbal tea. Another subtle yet powerful adjustment involves the grind size and brewing equipment. A finer grind extracts more compounds quickly, leading to a stronger, more intense cup, while a coarser grind yields a milder brew with lower acidity. For seniors who are sensitive to strong flavors or who experience digestive discomfort, a medium coarse grind combined with a pour-over method can produce a gentle, balanced cup. On the other hand, if you seek a bold, robust flavor, a fine grind for an espresso machine can provide that intensity, but remember to keep the serving size moderate. The practical tip: experiment with grind size and brewing method for a week each and record how your stomach and energy levels respond. Let's not overlook the role of antioxidants beyond the coffee bean itself. Adding complementary foods rich in polyphenols can amplify the protective effects against oxidative stress. A handful of berries, a few slices of apple, or a sprinkle of cacao nibs on top of your latte can create a synergistic antioxidant boost. These foods also contribute fiber, which supports gut health, a crucial component of overall immunity and nutrient absorption in later life. The instruction: pair each coffee moment with a small portion of antioxidant-rich fruit or dark chocolate and enjoy the combined health benefits. We have covered a broad spectrum of strategies, but the most important piece of advice is to stay mindful and intentional with every sip. Your coffee habit can be a powerful ally in the journey of graceful aging, but only if you treat it with the same care you would any medication or supplement. Keep a simple journal, noting the type of coffee, any additives, the time of day, and how you feel afterwards. Over a few weeks, you will begin to see patterns. Perhaps you notice that a dark roast cold brew paired with a glass of water leaves you feeling clear-headed, while a sugary frappuccino leads to a mid-afternoon slump. By tracking these observations, you empower yourself to make evidence-based choices rather than relying on habit alone. Before we wrap up, let's address a few frequently asked questions that often arise in the comments section. One common query is whether coffee can interfere with medication absorption, especially blood thinners or thyroid hormones. The short answer is that coffee can affect the gastrointestinal pH and thus the absorption rate of certain medications, but the impact is generally modest. To be safe, take your prescribed pills with a full glass of water and wait at least 30 minutes after drinking coffee before swallowing medication, or consult your physician for personalized guidance. Another question concerns the safety of mushroom coffee for individuals with autoimmune conditions. While lion's mane and cordyceps are generally well tolerated, some people report mild digestive upset when first introducing them. Start with a half-cup serving and monitor your body's response before scaling up. And finally, many ask if coffee can replace a traditional multivitamin. The answer is no. Coffee provides specific antioxidants and bioactive compounds, but it does not supply the full spectrum of vitamins and minerals required for optimal health. Continue to follow a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains, alongside your thoughtfully curated coffee routine. As we draw this deep dive to a close, remember that the goal is not to eliminate coffee, but to transform each cup into a strategic tool for longevity. By eliminating the 4 harmful beverages we highlighted at the start, embracing the 4 empowering blends, and fine-tuning timing, preparation, and pairings, you set the stage for sharper cognition, stronger bones, steadier heart health, and a more vibrant daily experience. Take a moment now to reflect on your current coffee coffee habit? Which of the villainous drinks have you been serving yourself, perhaps without realizing the hidden costs? Which of the heroic blends resonate most with your personal health goals? Write your thoughts in the comments below. I read each response and love hearing how you plan to adapt your routine. If this information sparked a new perspective on your morning ritual, please give this video a thumbs up. Your like not only tells the algorithm that the community values practical health insights, but it also helps more seniors discover these evidence-based tips. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and tapping the notification bell so you won't miss future episodes where we explore other everyday foods that can become powerful allies in aging gracefully. Your journey to healthier living is a continuous conversation, and I'm honored to walk alongside you. Before you go, here's a quick recap to cement the key takeaways. First, ban the sugary frappuccino, the heavy cream espresso with syrup, the over-processed instant coffee loaded with additives, and the extra strong caffeine shots that push blood pressure higher than necessary. Second, adopt the 4 golden options: plain black brew with a pinch of sea salt, decaf espresso after noon, turmeric ginger latte with black pepper, and mushroom coffee with lion's mane and cordyceps. Third, personalize your intake based on blood pressure, blood sugar, joint health, and energy needs, while pairing each cup with calcium-rich foods, water, and antioxidant-rich snacks. Fourth, respect timing by limiting caffeine to the early part of the day. Choose low-acid brewing methods if you have reflux, and stay hydrated. Lastly, keep a simple journal to monitor how each adjustment feels, and stay open to tweaking the formula as you learn more about your own body.